Okay, so we're joined from people all around the world, which is amazing. I love that. I love the fact that I can sit here and go to the US. It's wonderful. So good to see everyone for another month. We are in May. Can you believe this year's almost half over? I'd like. So the question is, what are we doing? Because life is going in a heartbeat, isn't it? It's just zapping past. So what are we doing to make the most of it? Why don't we just start and just chat about what are we doing to really maximize the time we have?
Hello, blah, blah, blah. Hello.
Hello, Annie.
Oh, okay.
Hello, Annie. So who'd like to start and share some ideas and thoughts on where they're at, what they're doing, and what they're doing to maximize their life on this earth? Deb, let's start.
I only got around to sending my second novel to the publishers this week, to a couple of publishers, and I'm working out how I can get it out to more publishers, because they all have these time exclusions in which you can not do things and stuff.
Yeah, there are publishers that do that.
Yep, I've got it all written in my diary, so I really notice when it comes up. And yes,
good. So you're sending it out, which is awesome.
Yes.
Which means you can have a publishing contract very soon.
I thought there could be a big publishing war, and they could give me a lot more money that way.
Yeah, well, I think that's what you've got to expect, right?
So my third novel's nearly finished, so I'm going to get back into that now.
Good on you, Deb. That's awesome. And that's amazing, because you know Deb's got some health challenges, but you don't let that stop you, do you? I love that. That's inspiring. Inspiring way to start this forum. We've got Deb, who's submitting and writing and doing great things. So well done. Awesome. I know we've got some other people here with good news. Come on, Denise, tell us your good news.
Oh, I finished my book.
Yay!
I finished my first draft, and now I have to start editing and then figure out to do what Deborah's doing right now. That'll be the
I don't think I've got to do this.
But I have to start editing, and it's been a really tough go. Medically, I'm challenged. I have 2 major surgeries coming up now, finalized with final dates, and I pushed and went ahead and got it done. And now I have the entire month of May to do all my editing.
Oh, okay.
So, and I have my, I will write today Post-it notes taped to everything on the days that I feel well enough to do something, and so I'm productive no matter what.
That's awesome, Denise.
Beautiful.
That is beautiful. And it's interesting, again, Denise has had, we've got a few people on this call that have got health challenges, but it's amazing how you just keep going, keep doing what you're doing, which is amazing. So well done. Congratulations, Denise. It's been with everything you had to go through, and to finish your first draft is an incredible achievement. So
I just can't believe it took a whole year. I never would have dreamed. I moved to Colorado May 1st of last year, and I just renewed my lease, and I can't believe that it took a whole year. I never dreamed it would take that long, but it, like you're saying, time goes by so fast that it just whizzed by.
Well, let's give that some perspective, Denise. You think a year's a long time. Let's just chat. Who's has spent more than a year writing a first draft of a book? Okay. All right. So let's just, Denise, just because you think a year's a long time. Trust me, it's not. So Deb, how long have you spent on a first draft?
I think it took me about 6.5 years before I gave up work to get one first draft of a book done, but that was going at it very part-time.
Yeah.
I think that with this book number 2 probably took 2 or 3 years. So I am speeding up gradually as I go along,
That's
but
good.
not speeding up fast enough.
Well, that's good. So thank you. Who else? So Lisa, you said, how long did you take for a first draft?
Probably about 5 years, I think. When I was thinking about it and talking about it, probably took 2 years once I actually started writing productively.
Awesome. Okay, so 5 years. Cherie, what about you?
I got lucky. I got fired from my job. Well, no, downsized. So I was able to write full-time 8 months to write more of a kind of an outline draft, and then another 3, almost 4 months, almost a year to get that first draft before it needed to go through an edit. So yeah, that was a full year.
Okay, awesome. Who else has done over? You spent the Cat. What about? Tell us about how long it's taken you.
560 days as of yesterday, and it is not done. So, but it's getting closer.
So the point, Denise, is a year's amazing, really. Like it is. There's probably, there's a few people that would do it quicker than a year, but a lot of people won't. And at the end of the day, who cares whether it's 5 years, it's 10 years, it's 20 years? I don't care. There's people I've worked with. Annie, how long did it take you to write your? Hi, Annie. How long did it take you to write your?
Sorry, I had technical difficulties. 11 years.
There you go, 11 years. So, and now Annie's a very successful published author doing amazing things. So, at the moment, Annie, does it bother you that it took you 11 years?
Not well. It kind of, not really, but the age. I'm now a senior, so I would. Yeah, no. Look, it doesn't.
No,
I got it done. That was the main thing.
Exactly, and that's the point. You got it done. So well done, Denise. That's awesome. Just that gave you a bit of perspective on how long it should take to write a first draft. And there's no rules here. Just get it done. That's the rule. Yes. So well done. Well done. That's awesome news. Who else wants to share some amazing things that they're doing to maximize their time on this planet? Okay, thank you, Cherie.
Let me see. Well, I finished the draft of my second mid-grade novel, and I'm out looking for beta readers. And I found some great sources, so I'm doing some different kind of marketing to see how easy it is to get those beta readers. And I finalized. I'm a director for a summer camp for young writers, which is virtual, so people can come from all over the world. Kids love it. 4th through 8th, and then also high school. And I just finalized my curriculum, and I got some great authors. Gail Levine and A.G. Howard are coming to my summer camp to help with the kids and writing. So if you know any kids that really love to write, just send them to that camp. It's awesome. It's fun. It's through the St. Louis Writers Guild. Okay. But it's just something I'm real proud of, and it's a lot of fun to do.
Is it online?
Yeah, it's a virtual camp.
Okay.
It runs for 2 weeks. Let me see, June 20th is the first week, and then the 27th. And it's on the St. Louis Writers Guild website. And I'm camp director. I love it. I call myself.
Good on you. That's amazing.
Yeah, but the kids learn so many things. Anything from, I know these authors are doing full workshops for these kids as far as developing character, building worlds, and helping them write. And they're all best-selling authors. So it's kind of neat. I just sit back and have fun.
Yeah, good on you. Well done.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
That will be fun. There'll be lots of fun. Where else? Who else got something to report? Justine.
So my children's book is being launched on the 15th of July.
Yay!
Mm.
Awesome.
VIP night. You'll get an invite, Andrew.
I like
yeah.
Where is it going to be?
It's going to be actually at my house.
Okay.
Yeah, so in the studio and gallery, and I'm having it all catering and all the VIPs that night. So.
Am I a VIP?
You're a VIP. I couldn't see the sense in hiring a room somewhere that's very impersonal. So, I'm having it catered, and we're moving furniture out, and I can get about 50 people in my home. So
awesome.
That made more sense. And I'm having the gallery open the whole weekend, and we'll just leave the book tables set up.
Weekend did you say was?
It's the 15th, 16th and 17th of July.
Great.
And that'll also be the launch of Morpheus Publishing.
Fantastic.
So it's a double combo that night.
Yeah,
so
amazing.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thanks.
Good job. Congrats.
Thanks.
Great.
I'm in far north Queensland at the moment, Andrew. So
yes, I could say you're a long way away.
Hence why I'm in summer clothes, not cold clothes.
Winter, yeah, it's cold in the south of Australia at the moment. Yeah. Good. Well done, Justine. What else we got? Come on, you guys. You're a bit quiet this morning. Or tonight. Annie, you're on mute if you're trying to talk.
And I'm on my phone, so it's all unusual. I've really not been doing that much, sadly. But Angel, I must tell you, I received a book for Christmas from my daughter, and the book, it was a similar story to mine. A lady wrote it. Her parents were Holocaust survivors. And do you remember when we started how we were going to divide everything up, like with my mum's story and my dad's story and then me? That's exactly what she did.
Okay.
That's how she set it up. But the difference between her and me was her parents recorded their stories. Her mother wrote her whole story out and her father recorded it. So she had all that information to be able to put in the book, which is absolutely amazing. Yeah. And then she's quite an amazing person herself. She lives on the Central Coast in New South Wales, and she's done a lot in the art world and all over Australia and Fiji, surprisingly. And she's actually an OAM now due to her work in the community.
Okay.
And anyway, I felt it quite, it's called Don't Laugh, Cry, which was a comment someone had made to her along the way in her journey.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I found it quite interesting that the idea that we had, or that I had originally, that you talked me out of, which I'm really grateful that you did, because her life isn't as detailed as what my life was. So her life you couldn't put in a whole book. But it was interesting to actually see a copy with that format. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
What's her name, Annie?
Her name's Nina Angelo. Nina Angelo. She had a Greek father, and her mother was from Poland, from the same village. So I'm sorry if you don't know. Both my parents are Holocaust survivors, and my dad was from Poland and my mum from France. And her mother was also from the same town that my father came from, in Lodz, in Poland. So the coincidences were amazing. I actually arranged to meet her because I was up there recently to visit my daughter, and she damn well had got COVID the week I was there. So yeah, I couldn't meet up with her, but it would have been fascinating to meet someone with your own background, which I don't often do, and to have that comparison in the stories, because she had so much detail where I have practically nothing. Yeah.
Awesome. That's great, Eddie. Thanks for sharing that. Hi, Rosemary. I think she's frozen. Okay, what else we got? Anyone else want to share where they're at? Or
I just got back from appointment, so that's.
Oh, your connection's not very good, Rosemary. You're cutting in and out. The joy of internet, hey? The joys of tech. I mean, listen, we couldn't do this without it, so we've got to live with a few little hiccups along the way. Good. What else?
Sorry. Yeah.
Can we? Well, Rosemary, let's see if we can get. Why don't you? Because Rosemary's very new. We just started working together the last few weeks. So, Rosemary, do you want to sort of introduce yourself to everyone? Or not? Well, hopefully we'll get her back at some point. Okay, what else? What else we got? Guys, come on. want me to do all the work here. That's why I run these forums, so I don't have to do all the work. How are you going, Felicia?
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I put my camera. I'm actually driving.
You're in the dark.
I know, it's dark here. I've been cooped up in my office all day working. So by the time I had an opportunity to escape, it was dark and I knew I would not be home in time for this call. But one thing I can say is I have started doing more writing.
Yay.
Writing, and more writing. So not necessarily with my book. However, I am writing articles and different things that are going on with my cycling club, as well as proposals for work where I'm describing my business and I'm setting up a portal for some of that stuff. So it's all content and related, and it's helping me to get back in the habit of writing again.
Yeah.
Because I've been so down in the weeds working, I have to get those skills back together. So I'm taking it as it comes and hoping it will transcend into areas for my book as well.
Good. That's good news. Keep your eyes on the road, Felicia.
Yes.
We don't want to be witness to a car accident, okay?
Not at all. It's also pouring down raining here too. So
that's not what we want at all. Yeah. Okay, well done. That's really good news. You're doing good.
Thank you.
Good. Rosemary's back, but it looks like she's frozen again. So who haven't we heard with? Kat? We haven't heard from you yet. Come on, Kat, you've got something to share.
Do I? 60 days. I think I've got to do one little read through to make sure I haven't missed anything, but I think the second to last activity is done as of yesterday, which is cool. So once I make sure I've not missed anything on that one, it gives me a nice reason to gently tap the person that we're getting to do our review of the physics, who is also someone I think is going to be an advocate for the book and likely the person to do the forward as well. So relationship management there, but all as well. So looking forward to that one. And then I will be starting the last activity, which is very exciting. So yeah. I don't know if we'll crack 2 years, but that's all right for first draft. That's all right. So it really doesn't. No,
it really doesn't.
It does not.
So it does not matter. We'll celebrate it whenever it happens.
Yeah. So no, that's good. Yeah, pretty exciting. I actually think the rest of the process will probably go a lot quicker because there's a lot less research and a lot less setting up of art spaces and creating messes and the like. So it actually just becomes more of a writing project, which is cool. And I keep tracking all my ideas for the thing I want to do next sides so they don't fall out of the head, but I also don't get distracted by them. Because it's tempting to go like, ooh, shiny, but no, focus, completion. So
yeah, it's very easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Easy to get distracted.
Yeah, but all good. I think that's about all I got on that one.
Awesome. Well done. That's good news. Lise, how are you going?
I'm a bit like Felicia. I'm doing a few fiddling around with some short stories and things at the moment to just try to get back into the groove. But I have submitted one into a competition, so we'll see how that goes. But my idea is to sort of get a bit of collection of short stories on a version and sort of maybe potentially put them up on my website or put them into a book later on down the track, just to a bit of promotion with them, but also to get back into the swing of writing a bit more because I've sort of dropped off the wagon a bit.
So now, are you writing a book? You've got a book on the go at the moment?
I have a book in my head.
Okay. So
it hasn't got much further than that. But
so you've got the idea in your head?
I've got the idea. I've got a plan.
Okay.
just not doing it.
So why not? We're gonna get into this because I think it's okay. If this is okay with you, because I think a lot of us are good at putting things off. A lot of us are good at staying in our head and not necessarily moving it. So what?
I'm very good at that, Andrew. Thinking about it. And
I know. I think a lot of people are good at
planning.
How many good at thinking about things? And who's found that thinking about it is so hard? It's the hardest work. When you actually start doing it, you go, "Oh, this is easy." Thinking about it's the hardest part. So what do you feel like stopping you, Lisa?
Well, it's a bit of a hard question. I think I need to go back. I've read your book, by the way, Andrew.
Which one?
Your latest one, Tears of Joy. Yeah. And that sort of got me thinking a bit. I really do maybe need to go back to the beginning and get my vision happening again. With my first book, which I do have a book, a novel, I was really inspired to do that through what was happening in my life at the time, and at work, and what was happening with those young people, homeless young people, and the issues that were. So I was really more inspired for that, and I'm not at the moment, I don't think. And so I need to get back into why I want to be writing, because I am working full time as well. But I need to get back to that, I think. And that your book sort of made me think, really, I don't have my vision up there. So I've been tinkering with part-time short stories, but just to keep my finger in there. But I need to, if I want the novel to happen, I've got to go.
Well, and I guess that's the thing, isn't it? It's the thing. I mean, obviously the short story is and please take this the right way, it's a nice distraction.
It is. They're quick.
But it's not going to get your book written.
No, it's not.
And again, we're here to help you be published and enjoy all the benefits of that. So yeah, I think the vision's a big one, isn't it? Once you can connect your book, and I think it's a key, and that was the key for me. Once I connected writing a book to achieving my vision, then all of a sudden the excuses dropped out of the way. But there's also, I mean, Lisa, is there any, doubt in there or fear in there, or, do you doubt yourself a little bit, or is that a reason maybe why you're putting it off?
I don't think.
Annie, can you mute yourself? You've got a lot of interference.
Yeah, I don't think I'm doubting myself so much, because I'm pretty sure I can finish a book. I'm just doubting that it will.
That's my only reason for coming here. I didn't realize you closed. What time do you close that part?
I might just ask everyone that's not speaking to mute themselves, if that's okay, just because otherwise it can, if there's interference or conversations happening, it can be quite distracting. So if you don't mind just muting yourselves, except you, Lise, because we're talking. I know you probably want to mute yourself right now.
Yeah, probably.
I'm putting you on the spot at the moment.
Yeah, so I don't doubt that I can finish a novel. I've done that. I doubt that what happens after that, like what I can do with it. What I'm not great at marketing. I don't like marketing. That's why I'm also using these short stories to sort of find a bit of a way to market without marketing as such. And I wasn't happy with the publisher that I chose. I didn't do that properly. I didn't think about it through. So I just need to get over that bit, I think, as well.
Yeah.
So I've thought lots about it, as you can hear, but I'm just not acting.
Okay. And thank you for sharing, Lisa, and thanks for being open and honest. And I think, I don't know about everyone else, but there's a few things that Lisa said there that I picked up on. Expectation, belief, some of the words that she used. And I know there's always a fear, there's always going to be a fear of some part of the process, right? Like how many of you are experiencing some kind of fear about A, can I write it? B, is it going to be any good? C, will it get published? D, once it's published, can I sell it? We've all got it. But what I want you to be really conscious of is those words that are coming out of your mouth. You said two things. I'm not good at marketing and I don't like marketing. Okay.
Yes.
Now, if that's a belief of yours, Lisa,
I guess it must be.
If your deep down belief is I'm not good at it and I don't like it, how much marketing will you do?
Not much.
Therefore, how much success will you have when your book's published?
Not much.
Okay, so that belief has to change. Okay, and that's where we've all, remember, most of you, when we first started, we did an activity. And I think, and I probably said to you, this is something you should do on a regular basis, is you got to capture those words. That's toxic. You know, every one of you is good enough to be a successful best-selling author. You all are good enough. You will rise to the level of your belief, not the level of your ability. Okay? You will rise to the level of your belief. Now, when you believe you're not a good marketer, you won't market. If you don't believe you're a good writer, you probably won't write. If you believe you're a procrastinator, you'll put things off. If you believe you're tired, you'll be exhausted. The words and there's a guy called Skip Ross who calls it the law of command. He said, be careful about what you say, be careful of the words that come out of your mouth because they will come true. Yeah. So it's critically important that we're very aware and conscious of the words that happen in our head and the words that come out of our mouth. You know, how many times you said, oh, I'm such an idiot? How many times you said, oh, you know, you'll never get it right, or you always do that? How many times you catch yourself saying that stuff? That's got to stop, right? That's got to stop. And it's hard because I still do it. I called myself an idiot the other day.
I think if I don't have a book, I don't have to market it.
Exactly. And that's what's stopping you. It's not the fact that you don't want to be an author. It's the fact that you think, well, in your mind, probably in your subconscious mind, you're going, well, what's the point of writing it? I'm not going to market it. No, it's not going to sell anyway. So why go through all that effort? It's a lot easier to write a short story and post it. Yeah. So I would go back. Do you remember the activity we did where we got the sheet of paper and all those limiting negative beliefs, we just wrote them down. And then we created, for example, I'm not good at marketing. Okay, that would be one of them. I'm not good at marketing. So the question I have for you, Lisa, is that what you want? Do you want to be not good at marketing? Is that what you want? I mean, do you want to be bad?
Probably not. No.
You want to be good at it. You want to be good at promoting and talking about your book. You want to be good at talking about how amazing it is and the impact it's going to have on lives. So what you've got to start doing is say, well, that's not what I want. What do I want? And create an affirmation. I am. I love marketing my book because I know the content, I know the story will inspire people. I know the content will change lives. I cannot wait for people to read it. And you affirm that every day. I love my book. I can't wait to write this book and get it out into the world because I know it will impact lives. You've got to change your self-talk, guys. I mean, this is the same for everyone. We all do. I do every day. It's an ongoing battle we have with ourselves because you are your greatest asset, but you're also your harshest critic and your worst enemy based on what you say to yourself. Anyone want to share some thoughts or ideas around that? Because I think that's a nice little topic for us to spend a bit of time on. I think it's probably a key topic. Has anyone got any examples or experiences, Deb?
I've actually written a previous novel, but the people who reviewed that for me were so negative that I buried it. I can't go back and even look at it. What I need to do is cannibalise it and take out the good bits and put them in with other good bits.
Well, can I just ask you this, Deb? Who are the people that gave it such a critical review?
Friends. And
what makes them qualified to critique your novel?
Nothing, but they did it for free.
Well,
Yeah.
let me tell you, that's not free. That's very expensive advice you got from them. You lost a lot of. So can I make a suggestion? Don't even think about taking it. Just ignore that, because we all know this. I mean, Deb, you're an author. Lisa, you're an author. Sherry, you're an author. Anna, you're an author. We all know that there are going to people that are going to hate your book. People are going to hate it. I know. I've actually spoken. They didn't know who they were talking to. They didn't realize I was the author of a book, but they told me how much they didn't like it, right? Because I was holding this book. I don't know if I've told this story. I had my first book, Eat Chocolate, Drink Alcohol, and Be Lean and Healthy, in a gym, just holding it because I was going to meet the gym manager about maybe speaking at the gym. And one of the personal trainers walks past, looks at it. She sees the book, because I always hold it cover out, as you do. Marketing, Lise, marketing. That's a great marketing for your book. Just stand there holding it. And she asked me, "Oh, what did you think?" She asked me, what do I think about my book? And I said, "Oh, I loved it." And I said, "What did you think?" She goes, "No, I didn't like it at all." Now, I could have said to her, "Well, I'm the author," but that's Deb. People are going to, even friends, are going to dislike your book. That doesn't mean you change it, because give it to someone else and they're going, "Wow, this is the most amazing book I've ever read."
Yeah, it's a lot of years.
Be very careful about how you allow other people to see. You've then let them get into your head.
Yeah.
And you've said to yourself, "This book's not good enough," because that's what they said. What do they know? Are they a publisher? Are they an editor? Are they, what have they done? So be careful. See how sensitive and how fragile we are based on our own perceptions, but also the impact of other people.
Andrew, I've got a comment for that, Deborah, and I've also got a comment for Lisa. Deborah, I had one of my friends, read my book, and you know what she did? She wrote down every single grammatical error that was in that book. And she showed me, she wrote it down, she showed me the list. She said, "You've got 27 grammatical errors in your book." It's a 70-page book. And she said, "What are you going to do about it?" I said, "Well, I'm going to do nothing about that." I said, "Who cares? Every single book I read has got some sort of grammatical error in it anyway." And I thought, what a horrible thing to do. And the person that I did get to read it the first time was an editor with the editor of the letters to the editor in the Herald Sun, and a journalist. So I figured he had some sort of experience to give me a feedback. And he's a person that if he doesn't get past the first 3 pages, he puts the book down. Well, he read my whole book, and he said it was, really good.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I would totally ignore that. And so don't go, and I agree with Andrew, don't go re-editing it. No way. And to Lisa, is it your fear of speaking in front of people that holds you back?
Probably. I don't like that either.
Yeah. Well, like I joined an organisation called Toastmasters years and years and years ago at the same time I started writing my book, to give me the confidence to be able to speak about my book, which has helped. I don't know, where are you located?
I'm located in Wollongong, New South Wales. So,
okay.
On the coast here. I think it's not so much presenting as such, in that I can do that for work. It's the presenting yourself or your product that's the problem.
Yeah,
for
you
me,
feel
I
like
think.
you're pushing. Yeah, you feel like you.
So it's not presenting as such. I don't think it's when it's presenting something about me that's the problem.
Not talking about yourself, which is 99% of people. But if you find your local Toastmasters club, it's only costs about $3 a meeting. It's the cheapest personal development you'll ever find. You'll find that you'll overcome that fear. It's really brilliant for that. Because it's just a suggestion anyway.
Yeah, no, thanks. I'll look
That's
into it.
That's a great suggestion, Annie. Thank you. And look, I think the other thing there is there's a perception that, and we all have this when it comes to marketing and selling, that we're selling, you know. Annie, sorry, can you mute yourself again? There's a lot of interference from your thanks. You know, that what we're trying to do is we're doing something to someone. I think there's a fear, isn't it? When you're selling, you're trying to get someone to do something they don't want to do. Well, what I want you to think about, Lise, is that the positive impact your book's going to have on someone's life. You know, like I have no problem talking about Tears of Joy because I know in my heart that book's going to change lives for anyone who reads it and applies the information. I'm excited to talk about it. I'm excited to get out and talk about it on TV, on radio. And why? Because it's not about me. This is not about me. This is about the impact. And I think the greatest fear that salespeople have, that speakers have, is they're thinking about themselves. So my suggestion is stop thinking about you and start thinking about the impact that book will have on people's lives. And then wouldn't you want that to happen? I mean, don't you want to have an impact? I mean, isn't that why we write a book? We don't write a book to sit in a box. How many people write a book so they've got a box of books in their garage that they never sell? Yet most authors will have that situation for the same reason, Lisa, because they feel, oh, yeah, I don't want to be, I've written the book for people to read, but I don't want them to read it. Doesn't make sense.
No, I want them to read it.
You've got to believe in the power that those words on that page will have in someone's life. That's what you're selling. There's a saying, you're not selling, you're solving. Okay? You're not selling, you're solving. Your book will solve a problem. And I know everyone in this room that's written a book, your book will solve someone's problem, right? Yeah? It solves someone's problem about overcoming some kind of challenge. It'll solve someone's problem about, you know, understanding science in a simple way. It'll solve someone's problem around, you know, maybe disconnecting from the world and just having just losing themselves in a great story. What you're doing is you're doing something for people, not to them. And I think when you can change that perspective on what the impact your book's going to have, all of a sudden that fear starts to go. Like, oh, I can't wait to talk about my book. I want to talk about my book. I love talking about my book, and it's not about me. So, Lisa, you've been under the spotlight. We might take Lisa out of the spotlight because she hates it anyway. But we've given her a barrage. But hopefully, it's helped you because, Lisa, you are good enough. You know, you published a book. That's incredible. Don't shy away from writing your book. Just embrace the fact that you're going to write another amazing book and the people it's going to impact lives, and you're going to want that book to impact lives.
Okay,
Sheree.
thanks.
Hi, Sheree.
Yeah, I made some notes because I want to make some comments. First of all, I love to substitute words. I do a lot with kids. And so we have these kids that always say, well, my problem is this and my problem is that. So I did a little experiment with a class of 6 and I said, I never want to hear that word again. From now on, I want to hear the word challenge. My challenge is because you can overcome a challenge. You can't always get rid of a problem. It's been amazing. Just that one little word in 3 weeks has been fun to watch. And they even tease me about it. They go, challenge, I mean the challenge. And so I would say when you're doing marketing, stop using the word marketing. I did professional marketing for 35 years. Nobody knows more about what it feels like to think you're trying to sell somebody something. That's a horrible feeling. And you're not. You're sharing. So instead of using the word marketing, just say, I love to share my book. I love to share my product. I love to share my ideas. Because when you start saying, I love to market it right away, that word puts all these different red flags into your head. Get rid of those. You're not selling anything. You're sharing with people. And that is such a fun thing when you share something as opposed to marketing your product. That just sounds so cold. So yeah, face your challenges, get rid of your problems. And yeah, definitely share your book. Don't market it because, and you know, here's the thing. And also too, I have to say this because you said, well, someone read my book, but they really liked it. Someone didn't like it. This, and I'm going to just say this in all fairness, it's your fault. I don't know what writers expect from readers. They hand them a manuscript and they say, let me know what you think. That person that you gave that manuscript, how do you know they didn't think you wanted them to edit it and find 27 different grammatical errors? They maybe thought that was their job, that there was, I see this all the time. Let me know what you think of it. Well, that's pretty broad. And then even when you get it back and they say, I liked it, what did you like about it? Was the plot good? Did I hit my emotional beats? Was the end satisfying? Did the beginning engage you? Don't give your work, your beautiful work, to anybody without giving them directions. Give them questions. Did you love it? Where'd you stop reading it? That kind of thing. It's just such a basic writer's tool, and successful writers use it all the time when they're preparing manuscripts. So let yourself share your work. It's the first great way to share your work too, which is scary as heck. So you're on your own there.
Yeah, that's awesome advice, Sheree. Thank you for that. Rosemary, are you there now? Have we got you? Just gonna unmute yourself. There you go.
Yeah.
We got you finally. You've been in and out and up and down and frozen and
yeah. And I was thinking, does it sound like this to everybody else? Because it sounded like people were speaking with a mouthful of marbles, or is that just my experience?
No, that I think that was your end.
Oh, good. That's handy to know.
Yeah.
What I wanted to say is that I've had an extremely long pregnancy with a book, and pretty much since I started talking to Andrew in the last week or two, I feel as though the labour has begun, and there's a sense of lightness and, more inner space because of getting started into it. So I'm excited.
Well, good on you, because there's nothing worse than a long labour. Girls, how am I going? Am I right with that? You do not want a long labour. We want to birth that book as quickly as possible, right?
Took me 3 days.
What's that?
3 days. Oh my
3 days, and she was 9 pounds 4.
Oh my gosh, that's painful.
And she still doesn't come and visit me. So there you go.
Oh, no.
Wow. Well, all I can say is thank goodness I'm the only male. I'm a male. Thank goodness I don't have to give birth. That's for sure. But welcome, Ruth. It's good to have you. And I know you've got lots of amazing things to share in your book, and you will be sharing. I love that, Sheree. I love, just change the words. And the other word I love, when we say problem, even challenge can evoke a bit of a negative, but what about opportunity?
I was just going to say that.
Opportunity, because everything that happens is an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to get rid of something that's not working. It's an opportunity to do something different. It's an opportunity to, everything's an opportunity. And that's a cool, or here's another one, adventure. Let's really start to focus on the next 30 days. Let's focus on our words that we say to others, that we say to ourselves, because you watch what happens when you start. I promise you, Les, you start using the word adventure and opportunity, your mood changes, your posture changes, your actions change. Because remember, words, tears of joy, our words will lead to our emotional state. What we say, what we think will lead us into an emotion. When we talk about adventure, when you think about the word adventure, what sort of feeling does it give you?
Fun,
excitement. It's like anticipation. So, opportunity. What is that? What kind of feeling does that evoke? What about sharing, Lise, like other people, or inspiring people? When you know your book, when you're going to share, how does that make you feel? So words, wow.
What about invitation, Andrew?
Sorry, say that again.
How do you feel about invitations?
Yeah. Invitation in terms of...
well, the invitation leads to the opportunity, doesn't it?
Again. When you create an invitation, it's exciting because you're not sure when you make an invitation you're going to get a positive, So again, I think you find the words, you'll know by, you just got to now allow the emotion. When you feel an emotion, know this: the emotion is feedback. That emotion is really your body telling you what's going on up here, right? That's exactly what emotion is. So if you're feeling free and in a zone and in flow and excited and moving, then you've got to capture those words and say, I need to keep using those words. when you feel stuck and fearful and doubting and anxious, stop. Don't judge. Go, okay, what's the tape that's playing in my head? What's the narrative that's going on in my head that's leading to these feelings? Because they will keep you stuck. Words. That's I think our focus is just really focused on positive, empowering words that move you forward. There's some amazing words out there. And you know, when someone asks you how you are, let's do a quick survey. When someone says, how are you today? What do you say?
I'm well.
Be honest.
I'm well.
Okay, Denise, you say I'm well. Awesome. What do you say?
Good.
Yeah, I'm good. What else?
I'm fine.
Fine. Okay.
If I were any better, I'd be twins.
There you go. What about I'm okay? Who wants to be okay? I don't want to be okay. What about this? I'm not bad. Well, that's bordering on bad.
Because you're not good.
Or not. I'm not. Not so bad. It's so when someone asks you how you are, say, Sherry, what you said is great. I'm amazing. I feel incredible. Life's awesome. And how many people, whoever uses the word busy, I'm busy. Change it. Do you want to be is that your goal in life, to be busy? Okay, Deb's goal is to be busy, so you can keep using it if that's your goal. But my goal is never to be busy. And I wore busy as a badge of honor. For me, busy meant that I was important. I'm busy. Well, you must be doing something. It doesn't mean that at all. Busy means you're probably inefficient. Busy probably means you're disorganized. So when someone says, how are you? I say, I'm on purpose. You must be busy. No, never. I'm doing what I love. Everything I do, I love. It's part of what makes my life exciting and amazing. I do more of it. Why? Because I love it. So I fill my life with this stuff because it fuels me. And do you see what I'm saying? Words are so, Sheree?
Yeah, I have a tendency, I've stopped asking people, how are you? Because it's so boring. If you want to get a great reaction from people, when you walk up to them, ask them things more like, what made you smile today?
Yeah.
What have you got planned for the weekend? Ask them something where they can have, and because everybody walks up to you and says, hey, how are you? But what do you, and you just spew out, I'm fine, or I'm great. I always say if I'm any better, I'd be twins, and they laugh. But it's just, again, you change the rhetoric in your voice and what you say, and it changes what goes on in your mind, and other people react to that. And you should see that people just freeze. They don't know what to say when you look at them and you say, hey, so what made you smile today? And they actually think about it. It's fun.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, I asked the question at the start of this, what are you doing today to maximize this life you've got? I agree. What's great in your life at the moment? What's awesome that's happened to you today? I mean, there's so many better ways of saying things that we just get lazy, don't we? We just fall back into old habits.
It just reminding me of, they say you shouldn't ask somebody how they are because they just might tell you. And it makes me wonder, how do we get into that pattern in the first place? I like what Cherie's saying there in terms of, what made you smile today, what you said, like what was great today. It's a much better conversation to have.
Yeah, but people are not used to it though, are they, Kat?
Can I add a level of it for someone who's more on the introverted side and is happy to bow to the social normative and go around it, but still believes in the power of words?
Yes. Is
just cycling back to the affirmations, which I had heard prior to meeting Andrew, of course, of affirmations, the power of affirmations. And sure, kind of, to be fair, I had an attitude of okay, sure, whatever, that sounds cool. And I tried it on a few things, and I think my first rounds of affirmations were so nothing that they couldn't have possibly had an effect, because it was like blue. I don't know. They just didn't mean anything. And then I did do that exercise of writing down what was keeping me from things I wanted. And one of the things was around busy, not having time. And I just wrote down a simplified version of that, which is I have time, full stop. And another one that I have in my list is I have energy, full stop. And what that means to me in a given day can sometimes be different. But I've refined my affirmations over the course of a couple of years, but now I have a list and I do read them to myself every single day. And sometimes I'm just like, I have time, I have energy, I'm good, so is my work. And they just kind of, you know, they're not, but like sometimes something has been going on and I stop and I reread one and I'm like, okay, so, you know, Lisa, I shouldn't say to Lisa, to whomever, like I also work full time and I enjoy my work, but it is busy and I have other things I'd like to do and da, 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 da. And sometimes I get to that line that just says, I have time. And it's just like, right, I have time. Yeah. And what that means to me that day can matter. And they've, not every day do they, you know, spark in my mind, but they do on the days that I kind of need them, I suppose. And the other thing is they've just become more normal now to say to myself. So one of the ones I have in my list is I am going to be a best-selling author. And I resisted that one for years. I had something about like my writing, I don't know, it was quite waffly and long. And it was, my writing will be in the events, people will like it, or I don't know. It just, but it didn't really mean anything. And I hated writing down, I'm going to be a best-selling author, because it was like, ooh. And I know Andrew is probably sitting there going, I'm not going to be, I am a best-selling author. But like for me, where I was at when I wrote this, or how it connects to me, that works. But even just reading that every day silently to myself, it doesn't feel gross anymore the way it did when I first wrote it. And now it's become normal. So like that's been my own transition. And I, years ago, when I first started doing this, it was just such an eye roll for myself. Here I am reading my affirmations. But now I really find like it's a little moment of self-care for me to connect with me and to empower myself. And in my nature, this is not, I love sharing things. Like if I was any better, I'd be trans. That's awesome. I personally, where I am in my life right now, I cannot imagine saying that with a straight face to like my colleagues. Like it's just not who I am. But this works for me, and so I'm just.
Yep.
You can find ways of doing it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a great point, Kat. Everyone can find ways of saying it that resonates with them, and you know, even affirmations. I mean, when you start affirming something that you're not doing, like if you are a procrastinator, then to start affirming I'm an action taker, your subconscious going, no, you're not. What a lie. And that's why it's hard. But everything is repetition. I mean, every belief you have an unconscious belief you have is only there through repetition, because someone said you're no good. Like the first time someone said you're no good, you probably punched it, right? That's rubbish. But if they kept saying it and saying it and saying it and saying it, then you started believing it and saying it, eventually it becomes an unconscious belief, right? So that's all an affirmation is. It's this repetition. But the other thing about affirmation, and a lot of people think, well, if I just affirm it, it'll just magically happen. Yeah. Like this whole law of attraction, just think about it and affirm it, and you know, unexpected checks will arrive in the mail. You've got to take action. You've got to couple affirmation with action, affirmation and action. I am an action taker. Then you take action. You don't sit on the couch with your remote going, I'm an action taker. And well, look, I've just changed the channel. That took effort. You know, you have to, you know, and for Kat to go, I'm going to be a best-selling author. Well, then she's got to do something on her book in the day, or else that what's happening is there's a disconnect, because the words are there, but the actions, and so it's disconnecting.
And that's why two of my affirmations. One is I take responsibility and action to create what I want to exist. And another is I take small actions that build the results.
Yeah.
So just reminding myself, it's all well to say I have time and I have energy, but then I also remind myself that I have responsibility and I have to take actions, but I also remind myself that small actions are actions. So
absolutely.
It's one of those things that, I really do encourage anyone who wants to do that activity. Andrew was referencing of writing down your bad beliefs. I know the throwaway thing is quite cathartic. One thing I found about keeping it temporarily was that I was able to keep going, well, what does this actually mean? So for me, it was like, I'm too busy. And then so I kept having these long form versions of what that meant, but really what I was needing to say to myself is I have time. And it took me a long time to get to that small thing that resonated for me. So it is an awesome activity, and I do encourage it.
That's awesome. And I want to just say one last thing to wrap this up, because we're nearly out of time. There's 3 pieces to this. There's the affirmation, which Kat's talked about beautifully. There's taking the action, which is critical. But the third one I think is almost most important, and that's celebrating. And, I talk about winning the day, because, if your affirmation is I'm a best-selling author, I'm going to be a best-selling author, then what you're saying is, well, I can't celebrate until I'm a best-selling author. Or if you're trying to lose weight, or if you're trying to whatever, I am lean, fit, and healthy. In your mind, that's the point of celebration. But if that affirmation is then backed up by an action, I write for 10 minutes, and then you celebrate that, because the success is not when you become a best-selling author. If you don't celebrate every day, if you don't celebrate every tiny, even insignificant action, you'll never get there. Because at some point you'll say, well, it's not moving. It's really not making any, I'm not getting where I want to be, or it feels like you're not getting where you want to be. But when you can place that success in writing 100 words, that's the success. And you can tick your box and celebrate and win the day, then you're more likely to do it again tomorrow. And then the predictable result is you'll have a book. With the same with the sharing. Less, when that becomes a daily habit of, I send out 5 LinkedIn messages, I make 2 phone calls a day, and that's it. And you celebrate that and go, yay, I've done that, even if you didn't get an answer or a response. Yeah. And then you do it again the next day and the next day. It's the habit, it's the routine that will always bring the result, not how good your book is, not how smart or intelligent you are, not how much you know or how much time you have or haven't got. It's nothing to do with that. It's everything to do with the little daily rhythm and routines that you create that become unconscious, that you do. You've all got teeth because you brush them every day. Yep. If you didn't brush your teeth, we'd all be sitting here with no teeth, right? That's predictable. Just know and trust that the stuff you're doing today, the action you do today, the affirmation and the action that you do and celebrate today and do every day will predictably lead you anywhere you want to go. So,
Andrew, you just reminded me, I did do something. I did a big Mother's Day marketing, I suppose, announcement, I suppose, on all my socials, on my LinkedIn, my Facebook and my Instagram. And I put family, because Mother's Day tomorrow. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. Yeah. Who's a mother. Yeah, so I did a big Mother's Day, and I was lucky to spend time with my family last week in New South Wales. So I put up a couple of pics of instead of actually putting pics of my book, I put pics of my family on there just for something a bit different.
Awesome.
And myself and my new leg.
Yay, good on you with your new leg. That's awesome.
Yeah, my water leg.
Yeah, that's so good. Okay, well, we've gone a little bit over today, so I'm going to wrap it up. But thank you, everyone. I think it was a slow start, but did we turn this into a powerful forum? So thank you, everyone who shared. Lise, thank you for being so open and vulnerable, because I think your struggles, we all struggle with. We all feel it. We all have our own barriers and places we're stuck, and it's the same process that will get us out. The words that you use, change your words, change your actions, celebrate every single day. And I know that in 30 days, when we get back in the next 4 weeks, when we catch up again, we'll have some awesome stuff to report. So well done for everyone for everything you're doing, and congrats for all those people achieving, and you're all amazing, and I'm very grateful for every one of you. So look forward to seeing you all in 4 weeks. I'll send out all the information for the next forum. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful evening.